Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. Alright, it's the last day of my short weekend this week. Go back to work tomorrow, and I want to continue on with the shelf a little bit. So let's get going on that. Now I've done a few things in the background here that I've talked about, but really haven't shown you the final product. First off, you may recall about a year ago when I was still in the apartment that I replaced the power control box that powered the entire entertainment system. If you remember, it was a bright yellow thing with black trim. Well, I kind of don't want it to stand out like that. So the other day I took the cover off because it's just held on by a couple screws, and I painted it black so it'll all kind of just blend in. You may recall it was more of this color here, and that was just a little too much. So we did that. I went out yesterday and bought some new HDMI cables. Hopefully this 1.5 footer is going to be long enough. I wanted to find a 2-foot cable. 1.5 was the closest I could get. And then I found a couple of 6-footers, which are going to go from the tuner over here to the cable box and the DVD box. So I want to get those routed and hooked up today too. But I think first thing I want to do is pull this speaker shelf off the wall and start working on that power strip underneath, because I got something that's going to not only, we're going to put that faceplate back on, that black faceplate that I showed you a minute ago. I also got a wooden shield that's going to go around that so you won't see any of that mess under here. Alright, so I pulled the surge suppressor off the wall, and like I said, this is a thing I painted, and it just goes right over the top. Now I actually got to connect the ground wire here, so obviously I can't do that with my with a camera in my hand, so I'll show you what that looks like in a second. Okay, so we got the faceplate back on that thing. I think it looks pretty nice. Probably gonna, probably not gonna matter that much. It's gonna be hidden, but whatever. It still looks pretty good. And also, I made this thing here, and this thing is just I'm just gonna attach this to the bottom of the shelf. You got to remember, we're looking at the shelf upside down right now. This is the top down here. So this is gonna be hiding the power cords. And so they'll all have easy access to it because you can just get under it and gain access to it. But none of this stuff will be sticking out. You won't even be able to see it. So that's going to be a good thing, I think. Alright, so I got the shroud around the power strip. And basically this is kind of what it's going to look like if you look at it from the front. So yeah, this is where the speaker will go, and like I said, everything will be hidden back but there, and so hopefully we won't have any cables hanging out. And this is going to do a lot of good in terms of covering everything up. In fact, this is kind of providing a clue for me for how I want to hide everything else, because I think what I'm going to do is on the bottom row of each of these speakers, I'm just going to maybe put like a 2-inch strip going all the way along here. Then I can hide the wires behind all of that, just use some cable ties or some sort of mechanism to kind of strap everything into place. And I think that will actually do a really good job in terms of hiding everything. But the next thing I got to do now is replace those HDMI cables I bought, with the ones that are here, because the ones that are here aren't the right length. I also need to take these 2 shelves off and make a couple notches in the back of it so I can run wires behind that. We are making good progress on this. I know it seems like things are going slow, but this is going to look really good at the end. Alright, so I have kind of had my idea evolve a little bit in terms of how I want to hide the wires. I'd kind of mentioned the idea that I was going to just build some pieces of lumber that stick down a couple inches, and I can hide the wire back here and it won't be visible. All you'll see is this. And so I've actually started doing that. I've made little blocks for this one. This is the center speaker. Of course, it's still got the power strip inside of it, covered up by the shroud. And I think if I do that on the bottom row on all 3 of the shelves, that's going to allow me a lot of latitude in terms of how to hide the wires and not have it be as visible. Now, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go get some clips that I can put cable ties on that I can attach here, and then I can attach the wires here with cable ties and still be able to get them off if I ever need to. And we'll do that here, and we'll do that here, and I still got to build one of these and put it on the shelf that has a tuner on it. But I'm going to wait and do that in a little bit here, because I think I'm going to go to Home Depot first, because I know what I want to get now, and let's just see if we can find it. Alright, so it is coming together. I know it doesn't look like a lot right now, but it is getting there. We got the faceplate that's covering up the electrical outlet under here. See, I still got to wrap the wires up under there. I'm beginning to wrap the wires behind these things. This is something I just kind of came up with today, but I think this is going to work really well. We're blocking it here. I got to put another one over here to cover up what's happening over here. But here is kind of the clean level of what you're going to see through here. You know, you don't really see any wires. I still haven't dealt with this one yet. That one's got to be strapped up. That's the one that goes over to the computer. I also want to do something with this power strip, but I'm going to probably run, or with this power cord here, because I don't want an ugly yellow cord hanging out of the side. But I'm going to probably run a conduit down here, down to this outlet, and we'll probably have it, you know, we'll probably end up cutting the plug off the outlet, the cable here, and putting a custom outlet so it'll fit right onto there, and it'll be custom made to the length I want it to be. So we are making a lot of progress. I got the cable hooked up for the first time. I actually ended up deciding, since I told you before I have two inputs into the TV, so I got one of the inputs being the output of the tuner here. I still got to replace this big long mile long cord that goes up to the TV with that nice 1.5 foot cable I have. But I decided that I was going to put the Amazon Fire Stick in here. So the Amazon Fire Stick is in the second input on the TV, and then the first input is of course coming from the tuner. So and that was just kind of a spacing issue here, because these are the plugs here that go in that are the individual inputs for the HDMI, and that thing was just too big to fit here, and it ended up taking up two spaces. So I've actually got one extra HDMI port on here, port number 4, which I could put some other device on here at some point if I wanted to. And then, like I said, I've got the Amazon Fire Stick plugged onto the back of the TV there. So, like I said, it doesn't look like a whole lot's going on right now because it's more behind the scenes. It's just kind of covering everything up and making it look nice. But as you can see, it's starting to look good here. I'm going to run a conduit between these two to hide that wire, kind of similar to the one that's over here. I also got to run a conduit here because this is power for the TV, and also the remote control infrared sensor for the computer, for the media center computer, which is down here. So that all has to kind of be wired and routed to where it's ultimately going to go. And I think we'll probably work up on that next time. But like I said, short of putting another one of these whatever I want to call this here, that's just kind of covering up all the wires behind it. I got to put one on here, but other than that, we're for the most part done here. Can get everything routed, get everything wired up real nice, and I think it'll look good. So I've got an update on my father's memorial video. You recall that we couldn't have an actual physical memorial because of this whole coronavirus thing. So we elected a few weeks ago to do a virtual memorial service, something that we would do in video format and put on YouTube, and everybody could watch it from there. Well, it took a little while to get all the bits and pieces from all the different parts of the service, but I got the last couple bits a couple days ago, and I have now succeeded in cutting the video together. I gave it to my mom to look at. She likes it. I let my sister look at it. She likes it. So basically we're signed off on it. The next step is we have those letters that we created a few weeks ago, and those are going to get mailed off in the next day or so to all of the friends and family of my father, and that will give people instructions on how to view the video, how to find it, and then we can get going on that. So it's good to have that almost done. Like I said, my mom and my sister were both very pleased with how it turned out, and so I'm gonna probably spend the rest of the day packing up all of these letters in the envelopes. Our friend Beth did the handwriting on the front because she's got far better printing than either my mom or I do. So I've got all the envelopes. They're all stamped. They're all ready to go. All I got to do is put the letter into them and drop them in the mailbox. So I think I'm going to do that today, and that will kind of be the rest of my day. So I think that's all that I have for today. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.